Perfect. There we go. Right. So, guys, I'm here with Michael Grundy, who won his UFC debut in London. We were just previously talking. You said about UFC jitters just being a mindset. You went in there, you finished him in the second round, as you said you would finish him. Sort of my follow-on question was, Mike, was there any talks with anyone in the UFC afterwards? Like, who did you speak to after going back into the back?
I mean, when you go back in the back, you've got to do a lot of media interviews and stuff like that, and media scrums. So I did all them, and they went quite well. But I didn't really speak to anyone from the UFC. But a lot of the commissioners, they was coming to me and saying that a really good performance and what a debut kind of thing. A lot of the other athletes was messaging me, and they've also been up to me and said, it was great to see you do that on your debut. It's not easy to go and do that on debut. Like he was talking about oxygen and jitters. I mean, I don't have them, but it was nice to go and do that on my debut, really, and put on a performance.
And that's it, mate. From the get-go, being first fight, the crowd seemed to just be alive, ready to go. Could you feel that? There was obviously a very strong Liverpool-loving crowd that night, and Team K-Bomb, you being from up north as well, the guy being from Bristol. It was a very, very strong British crowd, and a lot of people have really complimented the crowd that night. Being both British, what was the vibe like being the first fight of the night?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Wiganers that went down. A lot of people from my town went down, so they was very loud and proud, singing the Oasis song that I walked out to and stuff like that, and I could hear them throughout the fight. But I'd say the crowd was louder for me than it was for Nad. And that's surprising because obviously he's only an hour away from London in Bristol. But I had a lot there, and the vibe and the atmosphere was good, But that kind of gives you more energy. Don't give you more pressure. It don't give me more pressure personally. It gives me more energy. I want to get out there and put a performance on for them, and it excites me more.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So you're already back in training. How long did you take off?
I've took this week off training. I'll get back next week, but obviously, I mean, I did hurt my hamstring 2 weeks before the fight, so I've still got to kind of let that heal up because I hurt it a little bit in the fight as well after the first attack in the first round, which is why there wasn't too much wrestling in the fight. But it's healing up well. I've seen the physio a lot, and they're doing good things for me. I see the physio every day, which is Summit Physio, so it'll be fine. It'll be strong enough.
Quality, mate. So it's no serious damage. It's just a bit of rest and let it heal itself, kind of thing.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I should be back doing some stuff next week, training wise.
That's brilliant, mate. Any idea of when you'd be looking to get back in there? Obviously, you didn't seem to take any damage yourself, so.
No, I didn't take any damage. Just like I said, a slight tweak, injury on my hamstring, but I want to stay active, and that's the way I've always been. Really, I know I didn't have any fights too much before this. It was like 12 to 16 months, something like that. I didn't fight before this fight, but before that, I was having 5 a year. So I do like to stay active. So as soon as I'm healed up and I'm ready, I'll get back training. I'll be fit again within a couple of weeks and be ready to go. So if there's anything coming up, then UFC can give me a call. I'll be ready.
Do you have a dream sort of location or stadium or anything like that you would love to fight at? Would be for you the pinnacle?
I've always said that I want to fight in the MGM arena because the first UFC I cornered for was Paul Sass, and that was in the MGM. So I went to Vegas with him and trained with him for 3 weeks, and then I walked out with him in MGM arena, which was sold out, packed out, and I just remember feeling that moment and thinking, what, I'd love to fight here myself, and it's always stuck in my mind. So yeah, I'd still like to go there and fight in the MGM one day.
How long ago was that when you cornered Paul Sass at the MGM? Jimmy said, how long ago was that?
Sass, probably, I don't know. It was a good while back now. Yeah. He fought Jacob Volkman, so it was a good while back.
No, did you ever corner like Terry Etam or anything like that, or?
Yeah, I cornered for Terry as well, and people like Andy Ogle and people like I've cornered a few, and obviously Darren Till. So I've always coached the wrestling down at Team Carbon.
Yeah, that's brilliant, mate. Yeah, I had a brief chat with John Gillies, who's the head of MTK MMA, as you know, your management company after the card, and he was just so buzzing for you. Obviously, it didn't end the best way for you guys, but he was just so proud of you and so proud of just how calm you were and what the future looks like for for Team Calibre as a whole. Obviously, Colin coming on at MTK MMA as well. It must be good signs for you. Have you spoken to John? Obviously, I imagine you have spoken to him since, but has there been any plans now? You've had that UFC. You're a successful UFC fighter. Where's it going next for you on that side of things, or is it still just working itself out?
Sorry, it went bad connection then again. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I was chatting to John Gillies. So on that side of things, MTK MMA are growing. They've got a show on in April. John taking over. Colin, your coach. Colin, your coach. He's being a part of MTK MMA now. What's going on there? Is there any big news coming out of there, or is it all still figuring itself out with the new ownership?
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be doing great things. They're very professional management team and very professional organisation. Obviously, they're very well known in boxing.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job with me, MTK, so I'm happy with them. And I think they do put some MMA shows on now as well, which are going to get bigger and better by the looks of it. And obviously with Colin Aaron, my coach, who's involved, he's a perfectionist and he's very, very professional and he's very intelligent. So if he's involved and John Gillies as well, then you're only going to see great things come from MTK. It's going to be I'm sure there's going to be big things that's going to be coming from that organisation.
Yeah, I chatted to John. Like I said, I chatted to John before the fight and after the fight. Before the fight, he was telling about all these ideas, and it was literally just about the same time it was announced that MTK Boxing is teaming up with Top Rank and ESPN. And from the sounds of it, MTK MMA is just going to keep going that way. So a lot of big things. Sort of yourself and Darren are seen as the pioneers for the British side of MTK MMA. A lot of Brazilians been supported, but you guys are really the UFC guys. Sort of going on to Darren very briefly. Have you spoke to him a lot? Have you is it people giving him space right now? How's he at the minute?
Tom, thanks. Yeah, I've not seen Darren just yet. He obviously went out after the fight. He went to the hospital just to get checked over and stuff. He was fine, but I've not actually seen him myself yet. So I've not had a chance to speak to him. I've spoken to a couple of his mates. He seems all right, but yeah, I've not spoken to him myself yet, so I couldn't really comment.
Yeah, it was of course it was a disappointing effort, but people seem to forget Darren he's still very young, still very hungry. He's got so many opportunities in different weight classes. There's a lot coming from Darren. Obviously, when the night ended, you're still victorious, and I know you're a team, and Colin would be very gutted for Darren, but you were still victorious that night in your UFC debut spectacularly. What did you guys do after the night? Were you in London for a bit? What happened?
Well, I went obviously and cornered Darren after the fight. After my fight, I just went back and I managed to see my wife and my son Jack, and just for an hour or so, and then I just got ready for Darren. Really, didn't really talk much about mine. I just obviously focused on him, and because obviously it would have been a perfect night if he went out and he got his win as well. But yeah, I mean after this fight, I got back to the hotel and all my family and friends was there, so I just had a chat to all them. But I didn't get a chance to celebrate too much because it was like 1 o'clock when I got back. So I just went to, I spoke to my family a bit and then I went to bed really. So I'll celebrate this weekend with my family and friends, I think, and maybe get a drink. But
brilliant, mate. I saw, Darren posted a photo. It was after the weigh-ins, and you went out to dinner and obviously yourself there. Big old crowd. A lot of you in the family there. So it looks like a very big but very tight family.
Yeah, we're very tight. We've got a strong team behind us, and a lot of people rooting for us. We've got a lot of good people around us, and that's why we succeed. That's why we're successful.
100%, mate. So yourself, like I said, you're going to wait for the UFC to call you. Do you have maybe a month in mind when you think I'd like to be back? You're saying 5 times a year. Previously, maybe not that much this year. In the UFC, it's a little bit tougher. But have you thought, okay, maybe before the summer or anything like that? Like, what's your ideal timeline now?
Yeah, providing obviously my hamstring's all good, I'd like to fight in summertime. Yeah, in a few months. I mean, I've heard. I think Stockholm. When's that? June, July, something like that. That's quite soon. Stockholm's knocking about, so maybe get me on that. I don't know. There's a rumor. Is there? I don't know. Do they not usually do Glasgow? I don't know when the shows are just yet, but get me on them. You know, I'm happy to get on. Even abroad, obviously I don't mind. Most of my fights have been abroad, so I don't mind getting abroad and fighting too.
Yeah, I think I don't know about any talks of Glasgow yet. It seems like every time I go to Scotland, the Scottish guys don't do that great for some reason.
Yeah.
I remember when Beardrew fought in Scotland, he didn't do phenomenally, but it is what it is. Jojo Calderwood. For yourself, any idea on an opponent for you that you'd personally look at that you think's a smart option for yourself, or a viable option, or even an exciting option?
There's no opponents I've got in mind just yet. I just want to probably get to the top 10 as quick as I possibly can. Maybe this year or early next year, try and get to the top 10. But I do want to get against these top wrestlers and showcase my wrestling and show that I have got wrestling, and some UK wrestlers are out there, who can wrestle, and I want to get out there and prove that. Because obviously a lot of commentators have said in the past that there's no one from UK who can wrestle, it's non-existent and stuff. And it's true, there isn't many wrestlers in the UK, but there is me. And I want to get on that big stage and perform and show people that I can wrestle and get, people in UK to recognise wrestling a bit more, because Mike Grundy's done it in the FC and they want to go and try wrestling, kids, and because it's a fantastic sport, with a lot of discipline in it, and it's a very very tough sport. Very. And like I say, I want more people to get involved with it in the UK. So that's another reason why I'm here. And like I say, I want to perform and show that we can wrestle.
That's it, man. A lot of the majority of the champions at the minute, they're very heavily wrestling based. The likes of Kamaru Usman, Daniel Cormier, all these. Even T. Dillashaw was a wrestler. It just shows that base is where people struggle to go up against. So, I would love to see a lot more UK guys getting into the wrestling side of it and showing that we can do it as well.
Yeah, it kind of dictates the fight. I mean, at the weekend, obviously, Nad didn't know about my hamstring, but I could feel that he was worried about my takedown, so that kind of opened my hands up a little bit more. I managed to catch some shots on the feet because I could feel when I started faking to the leg attack, he was worried about the leg attack.
You see that a lot. You see it with a lot of fighters that they're so focused. What people say about Ben Askren and Khabib, people are so worried that when they take him down, their hands are already low, and it gives them an opportunity to tee them up on the feet. So, yeah. And that's it, mate. So what's your plans for the weekend? Obviously, you're taking a rest. You said you're going to go out. You're going to be out. Is it going to be a boozy one, or are you going to be tamed?
Yeah, I'm going to get out with my family and friends tonight, just for a meal and stuff like that. And then maybe tomorrow, I'll get out with my mates and have a good night out and have a laugh, and just relax, really, because it's been intense, and stuff like since, obviously, I went away with Darren against when he fought Woodley. Then I was trying to get ready for my own fight in Pancras in Japan, which didn't come off because I got injured. And then, obviously, we kind of got the call for the UFC, and actually I've not been out for that long. It's been a long time. I've just been an hermit and just staying in and eating correct and not drinking. I don't drink much anyway, but like I say, I'm going to celebrate tomorrow and tonight and tomorrow.
What's your favourite blowout food when you're done with the camp, you're done with the fight? What's your go-to? What's the go-to food for Mike Grundy?
I'm gonna get it's called Sinners Club, and it's like just mad big burgers and dirty fries and stuff. So I'm gonna get there and have that.
With a name like Sinners Club, it's gonna be gonna be a naughty one.
I'm gonna
well, mate,
yeah.
Mate, hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will, and hopefully we do see you soon. And I'll be chatting to you again very soon. I really do appreciate the time, Mike. Have a good one, okay, mate?
No problem. Thanks very much, mate.
Cheers, Val. Bye bye.
See you soon. Thank you.
Bye.